wanted to come in and talk about, oops, let me fix this. All right. I wanted to come in and talk about, I'll say it again. I wanted to come in and talk about the foster care process. In one of my other videos, I mentioned to you that I had been MIA, and it was because my husband and I decided to do foster care. So I'm going to talk about the process, and then in another video, I'll talk about our first placement, because we did have a placement. So I'll first tell you why we got into it. So I have a friend who did foster or does foster care, and she has she got like a 9-month-old little girl, and it just seemed like really great, and it is. And my husband and I have a son, a biological son who's 14. My husband has a biological daughter who's 20, and we've been married 7 years, and we always said that we didn't want to have any more kids. Well, now we've changed our mind. We don't necessarily want to be pregnant, but we said that we would do foster care, foster to adopt, because there's so many kids in the system. I can't remember the statistics right now, but there's so many foster kids in the system. So I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily have to be pregnant, but yeah, I could take like a 2 or 3 year old and adopt them if they come up for adoption. So that's why we wanted to do it. We're blessed to have a nice home, extra rooms that we can give to a child in need, and also a loving environment. So that's why we wanted to do it. Okay, so we started the process back in, I believe, like December or maybe November. We contacted the same agency that my friend uses, and we're in California, by the way. So we contacted an agency that my friend used to get her baby, or that she went through as well, and to get her child. So we contacted them. We went there. I think we had like an initial meeting with the people, and then they gave us all the paperwork. And it's like a large stack of papers that it takes. I mean, like if you're really on it, you could get it done within like the week or whatever, or a few days. But we just kind of took our time. You know, you have to get the live scan, which is your fingerprinting, background, and all that stuff. So we filled out the paperwork. They do reimburse you for the live scan, the fingerprinting. And I think that was about it as far as the reimbursements go. So they reimbursed us for that. And then we did all the paperwork. So once we submitted all the paperwork, then you have to do your home visit. So someone from the agency will come out to the house and make sure that your house is okay. So we have a pool in the backyard. So they said, like, okay, you need to get a pool. And, they walk through the kitchen and say, okay, is this cabinet locked? You need child-proof locks on your cabinets and all that stuff. Because of the age that we were getting, we requested like 2 to 5 year olds. So because of that, they're telling us all the things that we need to have in place. You need a lockbox for your medication. It's a whole bunch of stuff. You need an earthquake kit. You need all this stuff. So we had to do that, and we probably had to shell out a few $100s to get all that stuff prepared. We also had to put like a gate around our pool area. So we did all of that stuff. So after that, or while we were doing that, at the same time, you had to attend classes. And I think it was 2 days, like 2-day, 8-hour classes. So we did that like on a Saturday. You also had to do CPR. So we did that as well. And what else? Because we have a pool, we had to do a water safety class. So we did that as well. So it was a few classes, paperwork, buying the supplies, all that stuff. But that's about it. Now, you're not reimbursed for all of the stuff that you get, all the stuff that you have to get initially before you even get a child. You're not reimbursed for that. I think the only thing that we got reimbursed for was the live scan, fingerprinting, like I said. What else? That's it. And then, car seats if you're gonna have a small child, crib if you're gonna have a small child. and that was pretty much all that we had. So that's like the process. Now, once you do get a child, you are compensated. Each state is different, so you check with your state to see how much you get per child. Also, if you take a child that has special needs, you'll get more money. But my husband and I, we didn't want a kid with special needs right now. It would have just been a lot as our first time, being foster parents. So we did not do that. We just requested children with no special needs. So that's a different rate, like I said, from a child that does have special needs. So that's that. And then what else? I wrote down some notes to see. So as far as the compensation, I'll go back to that. I'll say this: do not do foster care for the money. The money is very helpful, but it's if you're only getting into it for the money, it's not worth it. You need to have an open heart, a giving heart, a loving heart in order to do this process. Do not do it for the money. The money is nice, but it's not worth it. So I'll say that. You also get, you'll get WIC, which is, so in California it's called WIC. I think it's Women, Infant, and Children. So that means that you'll have like a certain allowance every month for vegetables and fruit and other items that are on the list, like whole grains and things like that. So that's a benefit as well. So basically, like when you're getting into foster care, they're going to do as much as they can to help you out, to make it easy for you. They'll also, where we are in California, I don't know if this is true for every state, but in California, they'll also pay for like your daycare. So if you have small kids, you have to, they'll pay you for your daycare. It's a process for all this stuff. I'll get into that in my next video, which will be about our first placement. I'll get into that in the next video and tell you a little more about that. But I'll say this: if you are loving, caring, you want to open your home to children or a child, I would definitely recommend it. You do need patience. You don't have to be married. They will take single women or men. And then, even if you have siblings or if you have children of your own already, you can still do foster care. So I'll say that, it's a great program. I feel like we have so many kids out here in the system that just need love and support. A lot of kids are in homes that are just not, the best situations. And it's really sad if you think about it. So, we just felt like, opening our home, like God placed it on our heart. Of course, we had a lot of conversations about it. We talked about it. We prayed about it. And we took the jump. So if you're thinking about foster care, I would definitely, another thing that we did before we finished the whole process, we had, like I said, I already had one friend that had foster care, and then my husband had a co-worker who had a friend who had done foster care for years. So we sat down and we talked to her. We had like a lot of questions for her, so that we could just be prepared as much as we could. And so she was really helpful. I know that Facebook has groups on foster care, and also our church has like a group on foster care. I never went to any of those meetings. I just got a lot of my information from friends, and then also YouTube also has videos about foster care as well. So I would recommend looking at those if you all are thinking about foster care, but just really know that you have to be loving, caring, because these kids are coming from all types of backgrounds, and you also have to just have an open heart. So yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. I think I included everything here. Check out my next video, which I will record soon, and that's about our first placement. Okay, thank you so much. If you gotten to the end of this video, please don't forget to rate, to comment, subscribe. Thank you guys again for watching. Bye-bye.